What's up, socials? Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about being your own boss and the things that have helped me in the time that I have started working for myself. It's kind of funny because it feels like just yesterday when I left my full-time regular job before I realized what I really wanted to sort of do with my life. I went and worked in regular corporate America for 5+ years. Actually, I think it was almost 6 years by the time I was like, oh my gosh, I think I have to go and pursue something else. And you always kind of are hesitant to take those risks, but you have to if you want to do big things. And I'm really fortunate that I was able to do that and not have to go back to plan B or plan A, whichever the case may be in your situation. That was back in 2011 that I was really full-time and on my own. So it's been a good 6 more years that I've had a lot of experience. I've started a second business. So I've got sort of like 2 irons in the fire that do like 50 million different things. And I think that there's a lot that can be said for having all of that. And I think it's because of the things that I've done to set myself up for success. So I wanted to go over some of those things with you to kind of give you some guidance on what it really takes to be your own boss and how you kind of make that happen on a day-to-day basis. It is a lot of hard work. If you're looking for the shortcut, crazy town thing that you think is gonna just like let you be able to quit your job and live the life, that's not what this video is about. This is going to be a reminder about how much hard work it really is to be the one in charge. If you're into this kind of thing, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I make new videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and I wouldn't want you to miss the next one. When you're your own boss, one of the most important things is to focus on what you are best at. It's really tough in the beginning to not want to take a paycheck or a retainer or a new client on that just thinks you can help them, even though they have some other idea about what you do well versus what you actually do well. But remember that the more you stay focused on the one thing that you're absolutely the best at, the more successful you'll be. You also won't burn out as quickly at being your own boss because you'll stay very much in line with why you're doing this in the first place and what you actually ideally like to do. You may think you need to add different things to your plate also because of other competition or something out there that you're like, well, this person's doing this and that person's doing that. I should be doing that too. Remember to keep your mission in mind and stick with it, because if you don't do what you're best at all the time, you're just going to be some mediocre person, freelancer, company, whatever it is, and that's not going to get you anywhere in the long run. That's not going to make you do the big things, get the big clients, get the big projects, make the big money. So make sure you stay in line with what you are best at. Really give that some thought. You guys have heard me say this one a lot, but live by your calendar. There is one absolute non-negotiable for every single human being on this earth, no matter what they're doing, and that's the amount of time that they have. So when you look at things as sort of like a task list instead of how much actual time you have to get things done, you're much less likely to accomplish a whole lot in a short amount of time. And in a world where you really need to be reaching for the long game by doing a lot of things up to that point, you've got to stay focused on getting things done. And the only way to do that is actually manage how much time it takes to do all those things. So you have to live by your calendar. Check out my video about this. I've talked about this ad nauseum with you. But if you need a refresher, I mean, I think everybody does. There's always a little bit more that we can be doing about making the most of our time. I'm actually thinking about sort of doing a spin-off of this concept and doing a video on how to stop wasting time, because I think that there is a way you can consider what you do on a daily basis that may seem like downtime is actually wasting time. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video like that. But the point is, you only get so much time and so does everybody else. You can compare yourself to what everybody else is getting done in that amount of time, but you are comparing and they are getting things done. So stick with your calendar, figure out how much time it takes to do what you want to do, all the things, especially the things on this list, and make it happen. This is a big one. Practice selling yourself. Some people forget when they become their own boss that they are actually also their lead salesperson. This is a really big issue for people that had a regular job and have never been in sales and don't really understand what it means to convert a sale of something. Like if you're a graphic designer and you want to get a client on a website design, you have to convince that person as to why you're the best for the job and why you do the work they want absolute best, and so why they should hire you. And then does the price point match? There's a lot of talk that goes into that. There's a lot of influence that goes into that. So I think one of the biggest things that's helped me realize, man, I have to be a salesperson as much as I am a marketer. I'm better at one than the other. I have to practice the selling selling stuff. My biggest piece of advice on this really is just how do you talk about the sale, and how do you want to talk about it, and how can you keep that verbiage in mind all the time so you're not fishing for new ideas or things to say whenever you are having a sales conversation. One big one is just getting in the habit of saying, here's what I typically do, instead of, oh, well, for you, this is a little bit different, but we might be able to make something happen. And I mean, if you don't talk like you know what you are doing, that's going to come off right away in the sales process. And that's going to be very, very big for hesitance of somebody converting. So practice what it's like to sell something to someone, whether you're actually doing it on a regular basis because you're picking up the phone and calling potential clients or potential customers, or you're just talking to yourself. I will actually practice this in email writing as well because of how often I'm having this topic come up in a digital format and not in person, which can be easier, but it can also get misconstrued. So you have to be really clear on how you do things and what your system is and how somebody hires you or works with you. Just practice that, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation of, wow, I really marketed myself really well, made all the vlogs, I went to networking events, and now somebody wants to hire me and I don't know what to say. That's bad. You've got to be able to get that person on board with you. So practice selling yourself. I love number 4 because it's all about how you get things done by knowing who you are. And that's identifying how you develop habits. I highly recommend a book by Gretchen Rubin that I haven't even read yet because I am absolutely positively sure this is a thing, and it is called The 4 Tendencies. I'm planning on picking it up, but I've already known sort of a little bit about the content of the book because she has a quiz. It's a totally free quiz online. I've done a video about it before. You guys gave some crazy answers to it when we did it, and I thought it was so much fun to find that out. But it basically indicates to you, based on the type of person you are, which you identify in this quiz, how you develop a habit. Are you better driven internally on your own when you convince yourself to do it? That's me, I'm a questioner. Or are you more likely to be driven by somebody else telling you what to do? That's an obliger. And then there's somebody that will listen to both parties, and that's an upholder. And there's people that don't listen to either one, and they're rebels. And understanding which mentality you have is a massively helpful way in understanding what you need to do to develop a habit. Go check out the video I did on that. It was a long time ago, and I know I haven't read the book yet and I'm recommending it, but I promise I'll probably do another video on it where I have read it and totally recommend it, because I'm not kidding. Like, I have wine nights with girlfriends and we talk about the 4 tendencies and how we operate and how, oh my gosh, I'm totally being an obliger today. It is literally so much information that you need. Instead of trying to be someone else, be you, but adapt to who you are. When you are trying to be your own boss or want to be your own boss, you have to consistently share thought leadership of your expertise. I do that through videos like this. Sometimes I podcast, sometimes I write blog posts on LinkedIn. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. You have to consistently show up and let people know what you're good at, because otherwise they're not gonna know. So that's really difficult for being your own boss when you have in the business. Nobody's coming in. Figure out where your best medium is. Obviously, we talk about vlogging a lot here, so you could try video, but if it's something else that you feel more comfortable at, get consistent at it. You can say, I'm too busy doing work, but when the well runs dry because you didn't let the rest of the world know, except for your first 2 clients, what you do, then you're in trouble. So you have to be marketing yourself all the time. And then you have to be selling yourself. And then you keep the business coming in. That's how the business grows. Yes, you should be making time to do work, but you also have to grow the business. Even if you're just growing the business to be a one-woman show forever and ever and ever, that's cool. But you still need those leads. A really big thing about being your own boss is balancing your time in all places. That was sort of the best way I came up with summarizing this, but how much time are you spending at the computer or with family or in just like time to yourself, time at the gym, time to eat a proper meal? All of these things are sort of the nurturing of you as a human, and you are not going to be at your highest potential unless you tap into that. So sometimes I'll have a morning where I'm like, it's cool, I'm not going to eat breakfast. And then I eat some ridiculous number of tacos for lunch and I have screwed the rest of my day because I am not productive anymore. My belly is full. I want to take a nap and I am not at the optimum level. So eating at the right times, eating the right things. How am I spending time in that space? How long are you at the computer? Are you sitting there for too long? Are you stepping away and looking at something not digital for a little while to make sure that your eye muscles are moving around a little bit more healthy? The time in the spaces. It is so easy to be like, I'm going to sit at this computer until I get the job done because I have to. We all got deadlines. I get that. We're probably going to have a lot of moments like that. I get that. But you need to have a healthy balance of it every single day, for every week, for every month and year that you work for yourself. You're not going to just sit at the computer for 16 hours a day and think you're going to get further ahead that way. You're actually not. You need to do a lot more to be healthy as a human to move forward. So consider how you're spending time in all places. This is a big one. Keep in contact with whomever you meet. You never know when someone's going to be a lead or a client or hire you for a job. It doesn't matter what it is. When you make the time to meet people, that's why we have social media. I know a lot of people are forgetting about that. It's because of the people. It's not just because you can put things out there. There are people that are getting your message. They may help you. They might lift you up. But if you lose track of them, that's really, really tough to make the most of. So when you meet people at networking events, what are you doing to keep track of them in a database and follow up with them? I did a video about the apps that I like as a vlogger, and one of them was High Rise. That's where I keep all the people and notes on people and like, don't forget this person's birthday so I can send them a nice card. Little things. Keep in contact, because every time your name shows up, the boss, they're going to be like, I remember her. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. And what does she do? Oh, that's so funny. We need that. Keep in contact with people that you meet. Social media is a much larger group of people you may not have one-on-one contact with, so we stay consistent on those platforms to stay visible to them. But the ones that you have a more intimate relationship with, you met at a conference or in some networking event, or you simply met on Skype and had a virtual coffee, whatever it is, keep in contact. Respect and study amazing people. It doesn't even have to be somebody that has 5 billion followers on Instagram. It doesn't. The definition of amazing people could be your grandmother who accomplished a lot in her lifetime. What can you do to absorb some of that success? What did they do right? What are those things that you want to learn? Similarly, you can look at people online and say, oh my gosh, this is so awesome that they're doing this. I feel like this is totally where I should be headed. I aspire to this so much, and it kind of makes you hate them a little bit. Like, oh my God, why did she get there first? No, I want it to be me. Take the opportunity to observe everything. We have the resources to watch every single video someone's made, listen to all their podcasts, read all their blog posts, look at their Instagrams, study the layouts of things, and absorb where the success is coming from. The other thing is, you may be looking at things that look pretty but aren't actually successful. So instead of just kind of kicking yourself that you might not be where you want to be, just look at what success really could be for you and say, how can I learn from this and implement it? Meet with people, study things online, but then actually spend time doing. Because if you do too much like stalking and do nothing with that information, we're not in a good place then. That's not studying, okay? But you do need to get activated, and sometimes those things online can be actually very motivating if you allow it to be. Instead of knocking other people down or feeling insecure because you haven't done something, lift them up by showing respect and observing what you could be doing better. Number 9 is watch your pride. This is a really, I think, very important one, because when you become your own boss, suddenly you are the president and CEO of a company or your life. And that is really cool. And it can get to your head a little bit. I know I've been in situations where I'm like, I should be making way more money on that thing. I should just charge a lot more. I know I deserve it. I'm good at it. They're trying to screw me over. That's not the case at all. People have budgets. They genuinely want to know how you do business. And if they make a suggestion, you should not be feeling like your pride is stepped on and just simply maybe correct something. But also, sometimes we give ourselves a little bit too much credit that, hey, I have done one speaking engagement, so therefore my next one is going to be for $25,000. That's not going to happen. You need to work your butt off. So do not let your pride get in the way just because somebody told you you were really good at what you do. You still have to put a lot of time in to earn your keep. I can think of many successful people that I've either talked to or studied where they raised their price before they really should have, have because they took the ego elevator up a little bit too high, and we need a little bit of ego because we have to be able to sell ourselves. But check your pride at the door. There are still going to be things you have to do for free. There are still things that are not going to pay as much as they would. But if you want to be doing it, make that balance for yourself. Do not put yourself in a strenuous financial situation that is not healthy, but respect the fact that there is a process here. There are no overnight successes. You got to work your ass off, because the final thing here is to have fun. And genuinely, you've got to find those moments where you are having fun, where there is something fun about what you do, because otherwise being your own boss really sucks. Like, it has so much work. There's so many things. There's like taxes and accounting and hiring people and like working for yourself, talking to yourself because nobody's around. There are so many downsides. If you don't have that silver lining of, oh, this is why I do all this hard work, to get to that point and be able to be like, yes, it might be really, 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 really hard sometimes. But if you're not having fun in a good percentage of it, just because maybe you like the journey, you like the work, then you're doing the wrong thing. And you're probably listening to a bunch of people that are trying to convince you to work for yourself because it's the cool thing to do right now, and it may not be for you. As a matter of fact, this advice video, I suppose, could be called Be Your Own Employee. It doesn't have to mean that you work for yourself. You can still do all of these things and be a successful entrepreneur. It's about who you are and what you really want to do, and what is that thing that gives you validation that you really did achieve the thing you wanted to. That's what you've got. That has got to be what you do. Those are my 10 success tips for being your own boss. I'd love to hear if you have one. Leave one in the comments below, and also like this video if it was helpful for you today. That's all for today's socials. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Remember to subscribe for good vibes. And remember to be your own boss so that you can go after the life you want. Cheers.